Classifications of a New York session Judas swing. So when you're finding what are the optimal days and what are the optimal settings for a 9:30 turtle soup and fly, where you can get the best entry right at 9:30 and it just leaves price and you don't really come back to that 9:30 entry until later in the day or until the target is met, right? So far there's about 4 that I've come up with. There's probably going to be 5, I think, when this full video gets released, but 4 for now. So you have a 9:30 ends Judas swing and starts the new move. This is your classic turtle soup, purge, and revert. And this will give you the largest ranges when you're finding trade setups on this. Second would be 9:30 starts Judas swing. This is your standard approach when you have consolidation. 9:30 starts Judas swing, and then you have a breaker entry. This is another high value, I think, Judas swing you can find. Another would be 8:30 quick Judas, where you have, if it could be news, could be no news at all, where 8:30 starts a Judas swing, 9:30 will continue and expand and really have not any Judas swing within that range that's substantial. Maybe you have a fair value gap entry or something like that, but nothing crazy. And the D classification is a 9:45 or 10 a.m. ends the Judas swing, and then we expand into sometimes until lunch. And this can also be seen as your double Judas swing from 8:30. And I'll show you examples of this obviously as we get further into it. But in order of ease of trade, I think A, B, C, D is in order. So easiest, second easiest, third easiest, hardest for sure would be this one. Sometimes it can be a little bit trippy as you get into just reading the entire AM session. So we'll get right into it. Obviously today, I want you to, in this stream, to notice the similarities between the classifications. So on all the A-class pictures, notice what's similar. Notice how they trade. Notice what you can find as something that repeats that maybe you can implement into your own tape reading or as a model in itself for the 9:30. So here's your A classification, where if you don't remember, I'll go back. If you want to screenshot this, it is posted into the 9:30 model Q&A. I'll link that right here if you want it. Look at the screenshots. But A classification is your 9:30 ends the Judas swing and starts a new one. So that's your turtle soup. So here, look at this picture. 8:30 is where that green box starts. So right here is 8:30. You can see we're moving away from the original consolidation. You have down closing candle, down closing candle, down closing candle, down closing candle. Then right at 9:30, we stop the Judas swing. So technically the Judas swing happened at 8:30 away from the original consolidation, purge and revert, obviously expanding up into time. So great example here of an original consolidation being prior to 8:30, displaces away, ends the Judas swing at 9:30, and leaves. Here you have a B classification, where you have a original consolidation to the left of 8:30. Don't have any real Judas swing or manipulation within the 8:30 to 9:30, but 9:30 pierces above the original consolidation, drops lower. This is where you can find a breaker setup, CISD, something like that. And it trades down into obvious sell-side liquidity pools and some low resistance sell-side liquidity. What you'll notice in a lot of these screenshots as well is we will be targeting consolidation to manipulate and targeting consolidation to get out, or to be low resistance liquidity in the form of session ERL, things like that. D classification technically because it also does end at 9:45. Yep, screenshots are all 15-minute time frame. So every single one of these will be in 15-minute time frame. Here you have a C class. So we don't have any news, but notice how there's original, I'll just call this OG consol. So there's some OG over here. 8:30, it drops lower. So this is your Judas swing right here, very slight, and then expands up. 9:30 expands, get another retracement going into silver bullet hour, and then expands again into time. A little bit more difficult, right? Not a clear turtle soup entry given on this kind of day, but you can kind of spot this early just from looking at the consolidation drop down into here. And obviously having a bullish bias is going to help you when you're targeting something like a previous day high, and you can see the market maker buy model in here too. So it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for us to drop lower. You got to be mindful of something like this. B classification, consolidation, and 9:30 starting the Judas swing. This is another example where you can get a turtle soup entry on this kind of class. So consolidation, 9:30 open, low, turtle soup, high close, open, low, high close, multiple turtle soup opportunities in there, and then it flies up into the buy side. C class, Slight Judas here at 8:30 news. Drops off expansion at 9:30. So no turtle soup in there. But notice the OG consol and the turtle soup above here. Another B class. Consolidation. 9:30. Drops it. Turtle soup. Expands up into time. Now this is a smaller range, but also notice we have a huge news driver in the PM session. So you can expect a choppy range like this. Another A class. These are the most important ones you should be studying. A lot of consolidation to the left of it. What are you seeing here? 8:30 to 9:15. 8:30 to 9:15, 8:30 to 9:30. Just dropping away from the original consolidation. Right at 9:30, you got a turtle soup, purge and revert, and expands all the way up into your 10:30 to 11 time, sweeping out the original consolidation high, which is also, notice you have London high being formed right over here. So original consolidation with London high, dropping into what? Discount IRL, A classification, turtle soup, right at 9:30, trading up into premium buy side liquidity ERL. Another A class over here. Original consolidation, dropping at 8:30, stopping and starting a new move up right at 9:30, turtle soup and fly. There's also a fair value up in here we're trading into and exiting right at the 11 o'clock. I'm not using opening prices in this. This is strictly just looking at the 15-minute structure of the AM session. So you compare this with the video from yesterday, and I'll probably make a whole video, like a 45-minute long video, I'm assuming, just based on the whole model if I decide to post it on YouTube. But this will probably be a separate video as well. So opening prices you can pair up into this. Obviously, studying the A classifications, any drop below 8:30, you can also target that as a premium market above here, discount market below here. Obviously going long and short, and long and discount, short and premium. Here's a difficult day, but you should be able to spot this. Seek and destroy conditions, Asian high and Asian and London low, all being taken out. Asian high and low, London high and low, all be taken out prior to 8:30. Not really any clear move in here. Maybe I guess a C or D class where you have a 9:45 late Judas swing. Don't worry about this one too much. A classification in here. Same exact kind of thing, right? You have 8:30 news in this case, but dropping lower with no order blocks or anything, no gaps forming, just clean price action away from the original consolidation. Ends right at 9:30. Boom, turtle soup. Trades all the way back up into the original consolidation. Buys at liquidity, which is also previous day high, I think. Yeah, should be previous day high. And notice also how the 8:30 news here failed to manipulate the original consolidation high. So fails to manipulate relative equal buy side as target, turtle soup on 9:30, and trades all the way back up. So you'll see that the A and B class are normally the easiest ones to find. Here, original consolidation fails to manipulate. This is a difficult one too, but D class where it stops at 9:45. I'll find a good D class. Here, original consol, 8:30 drops it. So your 8:30 Judas swing is your C classification. Turtle soup down here. 9:30, what is it going to do? Well, it's not going to have the Judas swing again. It's just going to expand. So you can find either a fair value gap in here to trade into or just a short-term run stops and it trades back up. This is also, I think, very similar to, what picture is this? 12. Okay. You go back to this. This is your C classification too, right? Judas swing, expands lower. You can find a fair value gap or super stops internally for 9:30 to expand. And then obviously your A classifications would be something like this or something like this or something like this. So you've already been exposed to these kind of setups, but now it's just a little bit more refined in looking at the 15-minute chart. And hopefully it's a bit easier to spot too. So let's go back into it. A class here, same exact kind of concept, original consolidation. Starts to leave it at 8:30. Consecutive candles just kind of closing up. There's no real Judas swing that we're leaving. No change in state of delivery on a 5-minute or even on 15. So I think the way you would use this is obviously coming to the charts at 9:15, maybe 9 o'clock is healthy. And then looking at, okay, what's going on between 8:30 and 9:30? Is it just a continued expansion? Is it Have we already manipulated at 8:30? Are we expected to manipulate again at 9:30? Or is it just going to take off, or is it going to maybe delay itself in manipulating? So looking for a lower time frame change in state of delivery, maybe a 5-minute would be good. So a closure through an order block, closure through a fair value gap, all those kind of things on the 5-minute would be extremely important to look for, not on the 1-minute. I think it's important that you don't look for those kind of change in state of deliveries to confirm a reversal on the 1-minute. It's better when you look at the higher time frames because normally there's more weight to it. That's why with the ATM model, a 5-minute candle closure in the correct direction that we want to trade to is important, because then you trust that, okay, now the 1-minute order flow is going to be bullish within that 5 minutes, and you can find a fair value of the trade. So something like this, obviously you can short right at 9:30. It's a little more difficult for sure getting a turtle soup entry, but a 5-minute change in state with a 1-minute entry or sub 1-minute entry wouldn't be too bad. Here you have a D class. So there's 10 a.m. news on this. I didn't post the news in the other ones. You probably could go back and just pair them up. But Friday, May 10th, you had 10 a.m. news. Here's a D class. So if you go back and look at this picture, what screenshot is this? 15. So 9:45 to 10 a.m. ends the Judas swing, and we expand into 10:30, 11. Actually, this is a little bit later, but into 11 o'clock, and can be seen as a double Judas swing from 8:30. So if we go back to this one, kind of a double Judas swing, right? We kind of a dip lower away from the original Casal, another trade higher, kind of a second Judas swing, and then it starts to move its run all the way down into 11 o'clock, targeting here. So this is also relative. We have 10 a.m. news, declassification, but anyways, Judas swing ending here at 9:45, and then it breaks down. You can find your breaker, fair value gap in premium to short. And a lot of times you're going to have these breakers to find trade setups. Even in here, if you were looking at this as a Judas swing and a 9:30 expansion, what do you have in here? Probably 8 internal range stop sweep or a breaker to trade right at 9:30 to expand back up. So all these will have 9:30 entries. It's just identifying what's the highest probability ones that you can find the least amount of drawdown and are willing to accept the risk, and just are the easiest ones to find, right? Like a declassification is going to be most times a little more difficult because the price is not going to run for a long amount of time. You may only have 15 minutes to get in and get out. Something like this where you have quote unquote 2 Judas swings again. Judas swing up at 8:30, it drops, taking out the sell stops from the original consolidation, and then right at 9:45 again, starts trading back up into 11 o'clock. So 2 opportunities here. You could find this as a shorting opportunity or as a long opportunity. But this is inherently going to be a little bit more difficult, especially when we're looking at, holding trades for longer. This is going to normally, if you're trying to trade at the 9:30, it's going to be a little more difficult. Here, I got a C class, slight Judas at 8:30, probably 8:30 news here, and then 9:30 expands up. No Judas swing present at 9:30, just turtle soup and flies all the way up into time. Also notice the reverse consolidation over here, manipulating away and then back up into and targeting those relative equal highs and the original consolidation that price left behind. Here you have another broadening formation. So seek and destroy. You could see this as either an A or a D class. I would count this more as a D class, to be honest. Judas swing ending at 10 o'clock and then expanding up into time. But more difficult too there. Juicy one here. This is the kind of stuff you want to see. Original consolidation into 8:30. So 8:30 is being counted as the original consolidation in this case. And what do you expect when you see something like this? Well, you expect no news. And if I'm correct, this is a Monday. Sorry, this is a Monday. So obviously there's not going to be any news on Monday. So no news. 8:30, 9:30 B classification, turtle soup, open, low, high, close, drops it, entry in there. Obviously there's going to be a breaker in here too. So this manipulation, you know that whenever we're sweeping stops below these, there's got to be a breaker. So you can find a breaker entry in that. Obviously targeting time to 76 points or so. Friday, another D class. What time is it sending at? Right at 10 a.m. So you have 10 a.m. news, Judas swing, move lower. This is going to be another difficult entry if you're trying to find a 9:30 trade setup. And there's no manipulation here at 8:30 either. So lack of manipulation at 8:30, meaning you can't find really a high probability continuation at 9:30, so you're going to wait for the news to come in, find a scalp short off that. Could be a C class or a D class, but anyways, Judas swing at internal range Judas swing. Here, we'll find more of those A class. This is the juicy ones. Same exact thing as all the other A class. Expansion right at 8:30, away from the original consolidation, all in here, right? You can count this, I guess, too. Expands up away, 9:30 pierces. There's probably some SMT there. Up, find a breaker or turtle soup that drops down into time. We'll find the good ones. Another example where it ends at 10 o'clock. B class, beautiful. Original consolidation all throughout before 8:30. So look how 8:30 in here with the B class is still consolidating. It's still part of this. There's not really any moves away. Your A classifications will always, most times, I would say 80 to 90% of the times when you have an A class, it's going to be expanding. 8:30 is going to be expanding away in some fashion. 9:30 is going to be purging and reverting. This, we don't have really an expansion, just consolidation. 9:30 sweeps it, moves back down. Also another Monday. So obviously no news there. And if you wanted to go back and look at what days these happen, I'm sure that you can probably find some similarities in that too. Here you have 8:30 news, A class, sweeps it at the bottom, right at 9:30, trades all the way up into the data news, the data high, sorry. So data high, right up at the buy side. Also the buy side over here too. Another A class. Look how many times that this, the best turtle soup right at 9:30 happens when 8:30 starts to move. And you have data highs up here too. Original consolidation, lack of manipulation there, right? So relative equal high is very important to target later on. 9:30, purge, and reverts all the way back up into data highs. Almost 200 points there. D class, consolidation, but you can kind of see the broadening formation starting to form there. Highs and lows being purged. And then you have a 9:45 end of Judas, trades back lower. But this is why the ATM model, normally you want to wait for the first 15 minutes because you're going to have days like this where the Judas swing ends at 9:45 or at 10 o'clock. So it's good just sometimes to wait. Here, B class. It's more of a difficult B class because you kind of have an expansion here. But either way, 9:30 manipulates. This is going to be difficult for sure. But 9:30 manipulates sell side and expands up. I assume you have a higher time frame draw on liquidity that's pulling on price, and this is probably going to be your second stage of distribution. D class. Let's go to the A class. Any more? Nice one. Look how 8:30 contained within the original consolidation. 9:30 manipulates previous day low, and then expands back up. So I want you to focus on, if you're building this as a model or you want to study it, these two sorts of days to find your best turtle soup, if that's what you're trying to focus on. Turtle soup is going to happen on these kind of 2 days. A C classification where you have an 8:30 Judas swing, a lot of times you'll find either an internal range stop sweep or a fair value gap entry. This is where you'll just find normally just a delayed ATM. Here you can find an ATM model. Here you can find an ATM model. Normally it's expanding, but study this. There's not a PDF for now. I'm gonna leave it just up to this. Actually, you know, I'll post this for now. I'll download it and send it into Models and Reviews. I'll also post the stream recording if you want to go back and listen to the explanations. But start pairing this now with how you already read price, right? Because if we come in tomorrow and we know, okay, we have 8:30 news, what is expected to see? Well, if we see 8:30 to 9:15 expand in one direction, and you know, okay, there's now a high likelihood for 9:30 to manipulate up high or up low, you know, manipulate one side or the other, and then go. Now you have a, maybe not a, you can't trust that by itself, but obviously if things are lining up, say that then drops into a discount IRL. And then there's London High, that's a great target. Plus you have now a clear Judas swing classification that you can pair that price action with. Plus you have, you know, maybe a 5-minute change in state all that stuff will stack up on top of each other, and you'll get even a higher probability trade setup just based on that. So anyways, this will definitely be refined down even further, but I wanted to update those who are interested. I'll post a PDF into the 9:30 model Q&A post, as well as the models and reviews. I'll post this backtesting stream. So we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow at 9:30, Lord willing. We got news tomorrow, so hopefully some good PA we got today. Actually, some decent ones. So take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.